In the Muslim thinking, in the Muslim Sharia, the way the world is depicted is in two houses. It's called Dar al-Islam or Dar al-Harb, the house of Islam or the house of war. So the whole world is under these two houses. If you're not a Muslim, you're under the house of war. Yet in the West, the apologists, Islamic apologists would say, no, that's not accurate. It is the house of peace and the house of Islam. And in fact, that's not accurate. If you look at the hadith and if you look at what comes from the highest jurisprudence in the Middle East, that's what is being taught.
Now, the infidel population are seeing this war as a genocidal war, since as it is described in the Muslim historians of jihad, as well as extremely numerous Christian sources, this war was conducted as in great ferocity. Whole cities were given up to massacres. Entire populations were deported in slavery or massacred.
The companion of the Prophet and the second Caliph, Umar, sent the Muslims to the great countries to fight the pagans. When we reached the land of the enemy, the representative of Khosrau, Persia, came out with 40,000 warriors. And an interpreter got up saying, "Let one of you talk to me." Al-Mughira replied, "Our Prophet, the Messenger of our Lord, has ordered us to fight you till you worship Allah alone or give jizya, tribute. And our Prophet has informed us that our Lord says, 'Whoever amongst us is killed, martyred, shall go to paradise to lead such a luxurious life as he has never seen, and whoever amongst us remains alive shall become your master.'"
There have been, in fact, two big waves of jihad. The Arab waves, which started in the 7th century, and in the course of 1 century only, has Islamized a huge territory, mainly Christian territory, from Portugal till Armenia. But also Islamized Persia, which was not Christian, mainly Zoroastrian, except for Iraq, which was mainly Christian in the north and Jewish and Christian in the south. The second wave of Islamization started in the 11th century with the Turkish tribes. So all these regions of Eastern Europe, Greece, Anatolia, which is now Turkey, but was the seat of the Christian Byzantine Empire, and Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania were integrated into the Dar al-Islam, which is the land of Islam. So all the countries around the Mediterranean, which once have been Christian, became the Islamic Empire. This Turkish wave lasted from the 11th century till the 17th century, where the Turkish army were stopped at the gate of Vienna in 1683.
The Crusades are not understood in Muslim world today very differently to the way they are understood in the Western academia and in the discourse of the Western elite class. Both talk of the Crusades as an aggressive war of conquest by Christian Europe against peaceful, innocent Muslims. One may ask, however, what were those Muslims doing in the Holy Land in the first place? Well, what happened is that Muhammad and his successors waged a series of wars of conquest, and in one such onslaught, in the 4th decade of the 7th century, the Holy Land, Palestine, Israel, was conquered by Muslims. And so when Seljuk Turks started interfering with the ability of Christian pilgrims to go to the Holy Land, to go to Jerusalem, and when their physical safety was no longer guaranteed, the Western Christians acted not only as reconquerors of a land that had been once theirs, they also acted as, quite rightly one might say, protectors of their holy places. Now, a defensive war in the case of the Muslims is even a war of conquest because they're obligated to spread Islam. But a land which had once been Muslim, in particular, must be reconquered, and the jihad is the rightful name of that war of reconquest. So they could never accept the Crusader states in Antiochia and Jerusalem because they were Dar ul-Harb reinstated into Darul Islam. And this is a contemporary aspect of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, of which many Westerners are not fully aware. Exactly the same psychology that prompted Saladin and others to fight the Crusaders is now motivating Hamas. In both cases, it is not only a matter of the nationalistic desire of Arabs to expel European or Jewish settlers, it is also the Quranic obligation of all good Muslims to make sure that the land once ruled by Muslims will be reverted to their rule.
The prophet said, "War is deceit."
Lying, generally speaking, is not allowed in Islam. But unlike other religions, there are certain situations where a Muslim can lie, and that would be acceptable, even encouraged. This concept called al-taqiyya. Al-taqiyya means prevention. So a Muslim is allowed to lie to prevent harm that may come to him or to Islam.
When one is under pressure, one may lie in order to protect the religion. This is taught in the Quran, chapter 3, verse 28, chapter 16, verse 106.
There are certain provisions for lying. So a Muslim can lie for the cause of Islam, can lie to keep peace in his family, so he can lie to his wife. A Muslim can lie to his fellow Muslim to keep peace in the society. Muhammad himself ordered people to lie. When people that he ordered to go and kill somebody, they told him, we cannot kill him unless we lie to that person. He said, okay, fine, lie.
The apostle said, "Who will rid me of Ibn al-Ashraf?" Muhammad bin Maslama, brother of the Bani Abdul Ashal, said, "I will deal with him for you, O apostle of God. I will kill him." The apostle said, "Do so if you can." He said, "O apostle of God, we shall have to tell lies." The apostle answered, "Say what you like, for you are free in the matter."
America is a land of diversity and service.
I'm an African American. My forefathers overcame the trials of slavery.
I am Native American. I am a journalist, wife, and mother.
I'm of European heritage. One of my ancestors was a member of the Continental Congress.
I'm Hispanic American. I've been a Girl Scout since I was 6 years old, and now I'm a troop leader.
I served in our nation's armed forces, as have many of my relatives.
My father served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam.
Another fought for freedom at Gettysburg.
2 of my uncles fought for our country in the Korean War.
And I am an American Muslim.
And I am an American Muslim.
And I am an American Muslim.
I am an American Muslim.
Muslims are part of the fabric of this great country and are working to build a better America.
The spokesmen for Islam in the Western world know how to play the game. They know how to present their cause in the way that is not only regarded as acceptable by the societal mainstream, but also reasonable and even, one might say, just. They will appeal to democratic institutions and their human rights in the full knowledge that, given the power to do so, they would abolish those institutions and deny those rights to others.
The Prophet said, "By Allah and Allah willing, if I take an oath and later find something else that is better than that, then I do what is better and expiate my oath."
When I used to be working as a translator at the Loop College in Chicago, the fundraising for jihad movements, for the PLO at that time, we would do the translation for the announcements or the flyers that we hand out or we put on the walls of the college. And I remember the Arabic would be basically the facts. Bring your friends. We were intending to raise funds to support our jihad brothers in Lebanon, or whether they're fighting in southern Lebanon against Israel or whatever. And then comes the English part. In the English part, it'd be the standard. We will be conducting a Middle Eastern cultural party. You're welcome. We will be serving lamb and baklava. So the West doesn't understand, as when we get together as a group, our conversations are different. As soon as a Westerner would come into the scene, then the whole conversation changes. It becomes palatable to a Western mind. When I used to go to work, let's say, during the Gulf War, I used to go to work at an American company. And everybody would be hovering around a TV set as soon as there's a Scud missile hitting Riyadh or something like that. And everybody will be distraught, unhappy if a Scud lands in the American camp. And I will be standing there right amongst the American employees. Oh, that's too bad, oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry that, we had loss of life. And out of frustration from having to keep the truth of what I really felt, I would roll down the window on the freeway going home and scream as loud as I can, Allahu Akbar, Allah is great. Allahu Akbar, because this is the chantation you do when the enemy is killed, when you win. So if it was a victorious day for the Iraqis, when they land a Scud missile, it will be Allahu Akbar on the freeway. I know nobody could hear me now. And when I went to my apartment home, the rest of the apartment complex were also Arabs from the Middle East. We'd get together in my apartment, watch the Gulf War, and we'd be praising Allah every time there was some incident where Americans got killed. But it wasn't the same face that we put on when we were in an American environment. In an American environment, you played different scenario. You acted as you are on their side. So there's this whole facade that is hidden from the West of how Muslim fundamentalists who want to propagate jihad in America can act publicly.